our committee. Good morning, everybody. My name is Brian Enriquez, and I am the president of the Leadership Committee. We're proudly starting our conference today, and thank you everyone for coming. And special thanks to our table of honor.
Again, Dashka Congo from Haiti. I am the vice president of the Leadership Committee.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Claudio Martes. I'm from the Dominican Republic. It is a pleasure for the SIP program and for the leadership to have you all here. Thank you.
I am Kino. I'm from Haiti. I am the city director of the South.
The objective of that conference is to give the opportunity to the SID students to share with you their CAP, Community Action Plan, which is a project that they have to implement in their community.
Now, I want to please special people who are here to make that event possible.
Let's thank Deborah Molo, Vice President of Student and Economic Development.
Vice President and Chief Academic and Officer.
Dr. Alberto Miller, International Director of Education.
Program Coordinator.
In addition to some companies that give us the opportunity to do internship this year, we would like to thank them.
Also, we would like to thank our families, friends, and also the students who are here today.
So now, we will have some beautiful words from some beautiful person. Let's introduce first Deborah Moello.
You see this crazy paper in front of you. And this is something I put together. I want to talk to you about leadership for about 10 minutes. If you come in my office, sometimes you'll see this 1 and an arrow and 2 on my computer. Because I have it as a reminder every single day of my life to always put others before myself. Always put others first. If you're 1 and you're 2, number 2 comes first in my mind. Have you ever been in a situation where someone's talking and you're thinking of what you're going to say next, so you never hear that person? I'm that kind of person. As many of you know, I'm Italian. So we jump ahead. We always are thinking the next. So sometimes in thinking the next, I forget what the person is saying in the moment. Sometimes I even have to write down what the person's saying so I won't jump ahead and think of me. So always think of the second person, the person you're looking to, is the most important person. Look in their eyes. Listen to what they're saying. Focus on that. You, as a leader, there's nothing you can do that's more important than to put others before yourself. There's a word, you hear of your ego, your first ego with letters in English, E-G-O, means easing God out. You're putting yourself first. Think of the other person first. Okay, the second picture, which is a little crazy, is about the body. Body, mind, and spirit. Be sure to take care of your body, mind, and spirit. You are working every minute. Go, go, go. Hard work, hard work, hard work. Constantly. You never take a minute to breathe. I know, because I see you guys on Facebook. If you have a minute to breathe, you're on Facebook. If you're not working, you're on Facebook. Take time that they call no mind time to shut down, to relax, to refresh. It's going to be hard, those of you that are going home. It's going to be very hard for you because you had so much freedom in America. You've been able to do whatever you want, go wherever you want, busy, 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 busy. When you go home, take a little bit of time to be not busy. Take a little bit of time to refresh, be with your family. relax a little bit. Worked so hard for 2 years. Relaxing is as important as being busy. Believe me, Dr. Kratinsky and I were just talking. Last week we had a busy week. This weekend we try to relax because unless in America we have a saying, go back to the well to get a fresh drink of water. You had this in your country? You have to go back and get a fresh water or you'll be burned out. Renew your spirit as often as possible. The next picture, the muscle people. This is a reminder to focus on your strengths. If you want to write some notes by it if you want. Think about what you're good at. I could look around and tell, you know what my strength is? My strength is that I can see other people's strengths. And that's a gift that God gave me. That's a gift that I have. I walked in with Brian and I saw the beautiful exhibit that you all put next door. And I saw the creativity of the leadership team in putting this concept together. Your strengths are, why should we go downtown and spend a lot of money to go to a restaurant? Let's use our own campus, make it as beautiful as this. The creativity of this leadership team, your strengths. My strength is what they call the gift of exhortation. I see what other people's strengths are. I can also write. I also have enormous energy. Those are my strengths. What I'm not so good at, it's hard for me. I don't have patience. I don't have the patience to sit down and solve a problem. When it comes to math, I'm lazy. But because I focused on my strengths, I got a good enough job that I can pay somebody to do the math. Right? So take a minute. I just want you to take 1 minute now and get out your pen and next to the strengths, write at least one thing that you're good at. Your strength. And don't be humble. Don't be humble. Write down your strength. Just take a minute to write one strength. Those of you that forgot to bring a pencil, that might be a weakness. Write one strength. How was yours? Thank you. And then write one thing you're not good at all. You know how when you're working on your team, you'll see, boy, he's so good at organizing everything. She's so good at speaking for the group. Think about how other people can help you. You don't have to be good at everything. Focus on your strengths. The other stuff you can do the best you can to fix that. But don't focus on what you're not good at. That's stupid. Focus on what you're good at, right? And take that to the limit. That's going to take you far in leadership. And then finally I said, thank you. Because I have to tell you, every moment of every day, be grateful. Be grateful. Thank you. I was thinking, as I was preparing to put this together, I was thinking that you and I can relate to something. I would not be here today. I would not be standing here today with a good job and a beautiful home and a nice car and a beautiful life and being able to work with such wonderful people if my grandmother didn't leave her country many, many years ago and come and work in a shoe factory making shoes all day long, sweating hard, raising her children, making shoes. And my grandfather went and worked in the coal mines of Pennsylvania, thousands of feet underground, digging coal. I would not be here today if they hadn't done that. And I would not be here today if my mother didn't sit in a dark room examining film for defects all day long in a room with chemicals and film, and my father was making shoes. I would not be here today if it weren't for people that made sure that I was here because of the hard work they did, and I'm so grateful for that. And think about your own grandmother. Think about how they work, right? Would you be here today if it wasn't for your grandmother and your grandfather? You were the result of the love of the people that came before you. So never forget your ancestors, your parents, your friends, your roommates, your teachers, the people here, but the people in your countries that got you here today. And for those of you that believe believe in God. Always be grateful. Keep a book by your bed at night and write all the little things you're grateful for. If you want to be a leader, never forget to say thank you, thank you, thank you to your ancestors, the people around you, and to your God. That's my leadership tip for you.
Next, help me welcome Mr. Francis Batista.
Buongiorno, buongiorno tutti. Good morning, good morning. Those were inspirational words that Ms. Morello just spoke. Ironically, I was just thinking about it. Her father and my father worked in the factories together many, many years ago. And it's a real interesting point. I was sitting here this morning thinking about when I first met you 2 years ago. You all look much older now. And much more dignified, involved, and truly you look much more assured of yourself. Think back 2 years ago. Were you a little nervous? Do you remember when they went around and everybody introduced everyone and some people go, A couple of you were like, this is my opportunity, you know, and you were very, but you've learned so much. You probably had obstacles in your life the past 2 years. You've had joys in the past 2 years. And when we look at leadership, it's important to think about what are those things that got you through these past 2 years. I love your title, Hats to Improve the World. Different hats that we wear. You're a child, you're a son, you're a daughter. Soon some of you will be parents. You're unemployed, you're employed, you're a student. All different caps we wear throughout the day. And it's important when we're thinking of those caps and when we're fulfilling different kinds of jobs and different kinds of opportunities, that sometimes there are the basics that never change. You know, the values that we have in life. People are either honest or they're dishonest. You know, people go, well, kind of like, no, it's one way or the other way. Your values are those things that you feel very, very strongly about. And those are the things that will make you a leader. Leaders are people who can help other people move forward. And so this morning, I was at home thinking about the words I would use today. And just thinking about kind of last week and things that happened here at the college. And it brought to mind a book that I had in graduate school, The Reflective Practitioner. And what it said is all professionals in a few months, you'll be out there working, so you will be professionals. You will be leaders in the companies that you work with. You have to step back every once in a while and reflect. You know, kind of remove yourself, as Debbie was saying, go back to the well. However you say, you know, you step back. You sometimes we're right out there. There's so many things happening. And because of the hats that you wear, different roles that you play, you have to act sometimes in different ways. And I was sitting there kind of thinking, and in my family, my wife is a horseback rider. And the other day we bought a new horse. So now I am the proud parent of a young daughter, 1,200 pounds. Caballo. And what's kind of funny, because we can't get the horse here because of the weather. I said, well, ride the horse up. You know, I mean, it's about 3 hours away, but we hope to get it this week. And my wife has always been into horses. And on the wall, sometimes when you think of things, you don't know where it's going to happen. On the wall, there was this great poster about horse sense, how the horse sees the world. And I said, it's about leadership. Let me read this to you and just spend a couple of minutes reflecting on it. Take life's hurdles in stride. Loosen the reins. Be free-spirited. Keep the birds from under your saddle. Carry your friends when they need it. Keep stable and gallop to success. Think of that in life. Think of that as a leader. You know, take life's hurdles in stride. All of us are going to have ups and downs. We're going to have things we don't like. Sometimes we rush to conclusion because we're angry and our emotions take over And maybe what we need to do is take a few days to step back. Because later we won't have to regret what we said. Because once it's out, once we resign, once it's been said, it can no longer be taken back. Loosen the reins. You know, life is neat. Sometimes you get a little too tight. You know, if you have the reins on the horse too tight, the horse will start bucking you. If you try to be too tight, the world will buck you. Your friends will buck you. Be free-spirited. Look at the world. You know, I kind of chuckle. All we're talking about lately in the area is about the weather. Everybody talks about the weather. You know, I love when people come in from the outside and they go, it's cold outside. Well, no kidding. You know? Get a coat, get some gloves. I mean, you know, it just is. And we're going to have more weather. We're going to have more snow and whatever. It is how it is. Keep the burrs from under your saddle. Those obstacles in life. Sometimes it's about perception. Sometimes we move right to the obstacle rather than move around it. You know, I know myself sometimes when I find myself in trouble. I say, how did I get here? I walked into it. No one does it to us. It's not about them. It is about us. Carry your friends when they need it. I'm sure you've helped each other out over the past years. I'm sure there are people in this room who have helped you. What the interesting part of life is, some people will have major impact on your life in one moment, and you will never see them again. But you always carry them with you in here. And that's an important piece. And then keep stable, keep your mind stable, what you take in, and then gallop to greatness. Really move forward. You know, be able to do what you need to do. Some of you will get jobs that maybe is not the ideal job, but you take that job so you can move to another job. Some of you, will have all kinds of opportunities in your life. Others will not. And so whatever happens, just try to move forward. William Butler Yeats, who's a famous poet, once wrote that the journey internally is not only an important journey, it's the only journey. Life is not about this stuff around us. It is about what is inside of you, and that's what a leader is. It's that person who can bring that out and let it shine to others. So I look forward to chatting with you more in the next few weeks and the next few months. We'll see you at graduation, and we look forward to seeing some of the presentations today. And thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I appreciate it.
Good morning. And first of all, I just want to say how interesting and how important is the message we have received from David and Francis. What they have said about their personal experience and their view of leadership is really exactly what students like you would like to follow. I just want to say thanks so far for this great message that you are sending to this conference. As the Master of Ceremony mentioned, it is really great to see two persons in this campus that are so important for their leadership to us as a whole on campus, taking the time to be here with you. This is one of the examples of leadership. Leadership means that leaders are really people who are with everybody, with each of us, no matter where we work, any organization we work, they are always around us. And what a great example we have now with David Moreno and Francis Batista. Thank you very much for this. And I would like to focus more now on the history of this event. Students were asking some time ago, when did this conference started? I happen to be a little bit of a historian, basically because I've been for so many years working with the SIG program that I do remember this program started back in 1995. So this is really a very old tradition in the SIG program to get together the students usually a semester during the second year before returning home to practice leadership, to develop this type of event where each of you can show your strength on leadership and be prepared to the challenge of returning home. It used to be called the Reentry Conference. That was the main idea when this conference was created. It was named the Reentry Conference, which means preparing you to re-enter into your society after 2 years of being away from home. It is a theory about how much we really experience being away from home for 2 years, 3 years, depending on the time that you're away from your home country, and how difficult it is to return, especially to get back to your own culture, society, family, everything, and try to adapt to that reality after developing your own personality away from home. It is a difficult, it is said that usually re-entry home is more difficult than leaving home. So we thought, Georgetown University especially, that it would be important to create a conference where the students would be trained to adjust to be successful in their home when they were already returned. There were 3 different regions at that time. The SIP colleges were a lot of SIP colleges. Not like now that we have only 8, 10 colleges. There were like 20, 30 colleges. And the colleges were distributed all over the United States. We have the West Coast, the Midwest, and the East Coast regions where Georgetown University suggested that each region should have its own re-entry leadership conference. We, of course, were part of the East region, so we used to get together with the colleges from the East region. Not precisely the East region. There were some colleges which were in the middle of the Midwest and East, so it was difficult for those colleges to decide where would they go for the conference. But just to see how big was the program at those days, when we decided to get our first leadership conference, we were 5 colleges in the East region. And I remember we got together, the college representatives, to create this conference in Pittsburgh. We flew to Pittsburgh, we met there, we planned the conference. What is interesting is at that time, the conference, when we were planning the conference, and it was true also for the other regions, we were thinking more about who can we invite to be the speakers. And each college was decided to get their own speakers from their own region, from their own city, experts on leadership, experts on re-entry, experts on business, etc., etc., and then bring those experts to the conference, and then the students will listen the skill, the strength, and we'll learn about the skills of leadership and the adjustment to their culture. What we noticed after the first conference we sponsored, that was in the Poconos, by the way, 2 or 3 hours away from here. It was a February right now. It was very snowy. Reminds me actually the day of the first conference. We found out that the students themselves can do a very good job in training themselves, in sharing their experiences, and sharing their skills with others. We decided after the first conference we would have big shots, good speakers, and we invited from different parts of the regions, that the students themselves can do probably an equal job, and we decided to try that. The next conference, we had all the students running the presentations, being speakers, and we discovered really how big is the talent of each student in the program, and we agreed that the students themselves can be the ones that must be empowered to run their own conference. Ever since 1997-98, the conference has been a student-led conference. And what is interesting is that every year we have seen that the students are really the best leaders, the best people who understand their own situation and can explain exactly how they see leadership in the future, but for themselves and for their own society. So listening to each of you every year is really something that is a lesson for us. It's the other way around. We come here now to learn from you. You are not now coming here to learn from the experts. You are coming to learn from each other. And this is what is interesting and very unique in the SIP program. The mission of the SIP program is a dual mission. Technical learning, and the other 50% is leadership. And increasingly over the years, we notice that leadership is gaining more weight in the SIP program. And leadership is what is making the difference when the students return home. I don't mean to diminish the value of the technical knowledge, but certainly this is what is really driving the students to success when they return home. It's a combination of knowledge, professional knowledge, but what is increasingly paying off the success of the students in their countries when I see them after 10, 15 years of being at home after their experience in the SIP colleges, is that those who are succeeding in their careers, in their lives, are those who paid a lot of attention to their leadership potential. So what you are doing today is really what is the right thing for the SIP program. And I just want to say how proud I am, and how proud I'm sure many of us working with you, those families, people, business people who are supporting the SIP program, administrators, are how proud they are for your achievements as students. I do hope this conference is going to be a moment of reflection. It's going to send a strong message to each of you that returning home is going to be a difficult challenge, but that you have developed all the strength that you need during these 2 years to be successful. And the other message that is important is that the success of your leadership in your communities when you return home is going to be the success of the SIP program. It's what is going to allow the SIP program to continue and to be the model for other programs in the future, and a program that will serve all the students in the future who actually deserve exactly what you have deserved in a scholarship. You are the ones, you're the ambassador, you're the one who have to protect and keep this scholarship at the highest level. And this is the way we are going to be able to continue giving opportunities of leadership development to other groups, and hopefully even your children in the future. Thank you very much. We congratulate all the organizing team, the leadership committee, for this great achievement. Wonderful job. This is the first time that we are holding a conference here in our campus. It is something very creative. This is something that was basically brought by the leadership committee team. They are the ones who decided this was going to be something different, and this is really what makes this program so special. The students bring the innovation, bring the quality, bring everything that is needed for your success. Thank you very much.
Now, let me welcome our dear coordinator, Claudia Bibi.
Okay, now it's my turn. I have to bring some notes because, you know, they have more experience than me. Okay, we have to talk about leadership. But one of the characteristics that is very important to keep in mind is that this person must be a person of quality. We have to ask what means to be a person of quality. Having a code of ethic and willingness to serve, to communicate with others, not needing to be good or excellent at what they are asking to do, being outstanding in all aspects of your life, with your family, with your work, in your community, and especially with your people. A person of quality examines their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, or threats, looking between to find the best of you. A person of quality uses emotion to collaborate with others. And as a mediator, both sides benefit. Being a leader means one has to develop skills and tools that promote teamwork between the environment, having a consistent and clear way of dealing in an effective and harmonic way. We can see that during all the time that we have to develop our community action plan, we have to work in a teamwork. We have 5 committees that always support the program. They show always something that we call charisma, by their actions communicating consistently with the daily actions. A leader is recognized as a humble person with a desire to serve and grow. Service to others is the key. They know that action doesn't make sense if it's not done for benefits of others. But today we have to think about global leadership, in French, leadership mondial, or liderazgo global in Spanish. We must have some questions like, how do we see other cultures? How do we see our own culture? After that, we have to compare and mix and see some differences between the values and the people and the way that they run their lives. Global leaders must acquire a culture-specific education. It means we have the opportunity sometimes to grow and educate in one place and then work in another place. In the case of the CITE student, you have the opportunity and the blessing to come here to study and acquire a lot of skills, technical skills and other personal skills, and then come back home. But also we must include some cultural values, beliefs in another country. The leader needs to know and realize about the different impacts of globalization. It means we have to be updated what is happening in the country. We need to know about technology. We need to know about what is happening in each country. It allows us to become an interpreter of sorts, communicating goals and explaining the reality of the situation. International education success is dependent upon the leaders' understanding of the global landscape and the ability to rapidly adapt to the changes that impact the community environment. In our case, we have the opportunity to interact each other with 7 different countries sometimes and learn a lot about what is globalization and how can we improve our skills in that. According with some people, there are 4 specific keys to be a leader. The first one is always demonstrate self-confidence. The second one is create and communicate a clear vision of our thoughts. Consistently treating people with respect. This is something that we usually in the program, we try to keep the values all the time. Understanding the impact of the globalization, because remember, the world always changes. We couldn't expect to come back home and keep and face all the things in the same way. Everything can change. And I want to thank Debbie, Dr. Battisti, Dr. Miller, and Bibi for the support for the program. And I want to close my speech with this quote. The leaders to work most effectively, it seems to me, never say I. And that's not because they have trained themselves not to say I. They don't think I, they think we. They think team. They understand their job to be to make the team function. They accept responsibility and don't sidestep it, but we get the credit. This is what creates trust, what enables you to get the task done. Peter Drucker. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia, for being here. I'm David Morello, Dr. Battisti, Dr. Miller, and Claudia. It is a pleasure for us And as Claudia said, we always say we. We don't say I, because we all work together like the leadership. We work together to get everything done.
That's right, Claudio. And we, the leadership committee, this year decided to make things different. And that's why we decided to call CAPS to improve the world. CAPS stand for many things. As Mr. Battisti said, representing everyone who uses a cap, and every person, every different kind of person, like different kind of caps that are around the world. Another thing that it represents is basically community action plans. And what is a community action plan? When we get here, the first thing Mr. Miller tells us, or the coordinator tells us, is that we have to create a community action plan, a CAP. And everybody started wondering, well, the first word they use is CAP, so the first thing I thought is like, what, you want me to swim a cap, or what? You want me to go fishing, or what do you need here? And then they say, no, you have to work in a project for your community. You have to think of something. You have to show your leadership skills. You show me how are you going to give back to your community. And not with a naive idea. It has to be something concise. It has to be specific, have objectives. And as you all are going to see today, in those display boards in the Baldwin gym, that everyone got to this point to make a plan. All the second year students. And that, like we did, the first year students will do. Next year, they will be presenting their community action plans as well. But it's a long way. Everybody start thinking, what will I do in my community? What needs to be done in my community? And that is a really hard part. Because some communities may need security. Some others may need a new soccer field. But you have to look for what is needed and then create something, create a plan. So just as an example, Claudio, tell me, what is your community action plan?
Well, my community action plan is about teaching. As everybody knows, most of us from the Caribbean and Central America, we all speak Spanish, and always we don't have the facilities. We cannot afford enough money to pay for English classes. That's my community action plan, to teach ESL first and second level.
There you go. There is a plan. And he doesn't only have the naive ideas. You will see he has a whole plan of how he will develop it. What people will he get? How much money he needs, if he needs money. Because as we know,
got all those things in front of me, fading light I cannot see. Got all these years tucked away. Once I use them, they never stay. And only in a future life, I only want you to be. And only when I walked away, so far away, will you save me? Can you save me? And when I go, I'll take away, save me. And only in a future life, I only want you to be. And only when I walked away, freedom has its perks. Yeah, freedom has its perks. Yeah, one of them is you. Yeah, one of them is you. Freedom has its perks. tucked away. Freedom has its perks. Yeah, freedom has its perks. Yeah, one of them is you. Yeah, one of them is you. Freedom has its perks. Yeah, freedom has its perks.
¿Cómo decirle que te amo? ¿Cómo decirle que te amo? Si me ha preguntado, le he dicho que no, le he dicho que no. Soy honesto con ella y contigo. Ay, ya la quiero y a ti te he olvidado. Si tú quieres